Welcome back, everybody, to Game Arena Valorant Act 3 for our final match of pool play and also our final match of today. We have the CSU Vikings White versus the Marion Tech Leaders coming in very, very shortly for us. But before we go to that map, we got to discuss what happened, what did we miss off screen, and hey, it looks like more OSU Scarlet domination. I got a chance to talk to, obviously, somebody from OSU Scarlet, and they said, yeah, they're feeling pretty confident earlier today, and it looks like that confidence is well placed. 4-0 throughout today, guaranteed at least that #1 spot. The second spot, at least, up for grabs. Sussy players could technically get knocked down. They're playing against Akron Gold. If Akron Gold manages to win that and also get, I believe, the differential, I believe it's round differential, and then it is head to head. So if they're able to get that round differential by 2 and also that head to head, they should be able to take over that spot. The same situation, I believe, could happen for CSU Vikings Green, but because they're going against OSU Scarlet, a lot less likely, and they'd need an immense jump in map differential if they wanted to catch up. So I'm looking at Sussy players versus Akron Gold for our, I guess, second place spot right now. But we are going to be talking about the CSU Vikings versus Marion Tech Leaders. And let's check out what map we're going on to. It is going to be Split that we are playing. So we got yeah, we got both teams ready to go, ready to play here, and we get to see Split for a second time today, which, as I said before, love Split as a map. Both teams will need to see how they play. I don't believe we have seen CSU Vikings White play on Split before. They played it against CSU Vikings Green and they lost 13-7. But one thing I will say is throughout the entire day, the tech leaders have been getting better and better. They started off against CSU Vikings Green, getting defeated 13-1, but throughout the day, they've been improving and improving bit by bit. So we'll have to see if they can make a comeback here. Yeah, and Marianne definitely looking for a bit of a I mean, obviously they're not locking 5 random players, but they're playing around with exactly who they want to go for. I'm excited to see Mint Meister on this chamber if they go for it, because they're a player that tends to, I guess, prefer those operator style guns, those one headshot, one kill style guns. I feel like that's a very good fit for them. And Double Sentinel isn't the most uncommon on a map like Split. It's a smaller map, so you're able to get a bit more value. But Chamber, character you usually don't see in the meta all that often. So Marion is going to lock in, keeping Milky Way going on to the smokes. We have Flux keeping with the Cypher, Blink staying with the initiator role, but this time onto the Sky, and X Relay is going to be our duelist. And Marion looking for their first win of today, and if it's any map that is going to happen, it's this map, because like I said, first match they played, they only got 1 round. Second match they played, they got 4 rounds. Third match, they got 5 rounds, and fourth match, they got 6 rounds. So this is the time, if any, to make the comeback against CSU Vikings White. We already got to see a little bit of how CSU Vikings White like to play this map. They are a bit more slow. They are a bit more methodical. They are fine with giving up space. They just want to make sure they're doing, like, taking hits together. But taking hits together against a team with 2 Sentinels might be a bit risky. There's a lot of opportunity to punish, especially for Mintmeister holding down this A site here. But early off for the Vikings, they kind of are in a very split approach. A couple pings out towards mid, an indication of some presence there. And a trip thrown in that area. First duel is going to be between Levy and Mintmeister, and Mintmeister is going to win that one out, though. But meanwhile, space has already been taken up towards the area in mid, potentially challenging towards ropes. Relay is tucked into a very nice spot to intercept this. And Zakomi actually going to be the first one to draw blood for the side of the CSU Vikings. But he gets traded out. 3v3 situation now. This is scrappy by all accords. Mintmeister almost gets fleshed out. And not going to get cleared. Revy manages to dodge that flash, set himself up into a good position. Revy now finding two. That's all left on Relay to make this retake possibility. The push through mid against double sentinel comp. Marion has to be very wary of that from now on. But X Relay manages to get one. Needs to clear Nickes if he wants to break into this site, and he is not able to do that. CSU Vikings white strike first with a 1-0 lead. And from sort of a compositional standpoint, Marion wants to find a lot of success on this defender side. They have the double sentinel composition, which does not bode the best for attack. There's not really much you can do with Chamber on this attack side of things. Not good angles to force the tour de force through. Still definitely a lot you can do, but mostly plastics for the side of Marion. They're looking for a play to potentially crash out, but they keep foregoing this space towards mid, giving it up to the side of CSU. And CSU is just going to punish off of that. Gets a single kill, forcing respect on both sides of the map. The two players falling. They execute going towards the B site. And Milky Way just going to wait, bide her time till the rest of the team meets up, groups up. But she does get spotted out. And eventually taken down by Revy. And now, with the spike down, Mintmeister, the only thing keeping CSU Vikings from a flawless 2-0 lead. You can see him creeping up slowly but surely. Gun in hand, but Crow a nice swing to counteract that one. Showing that CSU Vikings white here to play and here to win. And Marion now on to their first full buy of the game. A bit of regen shields. Light shields across the board. CSU Vikings, though, probably have the more impressive loadout in terms of what they can do with their bonus. None of them bought this round, but because they were able to carry 5 players over, still able to do a lot here. Revy does get caught out by those paint shells and the boombot. Punished in a few ways. But Mintmeister forced to fight against 2, needs to TP out, needs to respect some of that space. Blink is going to fall, but X Relay still held up in this heaven position, tucked, and nobody is going through main. So, at any point in time, they could swing out. They could try to hunt for this kill. And that's exactly what they're going to do. 1 found, 2 found. But only a sliver of HP left. Leaving the 3 players for CSU Vikings white kind of stranded alone right now. Needing to group up around this mid area. Marion keeping their 2-2 split of things. Not wanting to give a sign of anything. Zakomi is going to equalize. Making it a 3-3 affair. And it looks like CSU Vikings are going to commit off that, realizing that the A side is the weaker side, but it still has Relay here, who gets his 3rd, but unfortunately is going to get dropped down, forcing Flux and Mintmeister into a 2v2 situation. But X-Revi might be looking to get a bit cheeky with it, dropping all the way back down ropes. Leaving Levy to fend for themselves. And eventually Revi's going to sneak up. It's a double play up into heaven. Fighting back into Marion's spawn and taking them down systematically. So now Marion forced now onto a save position. And with that, they are going to opt for a gamble stack towards A, sending 4 players in that direction. A lot of space has been given up towards A and mid for Marion, so I like to see them trying to fight back against this a bit more. But it's going to be likely revealed by the Cypher cam. Nikiz opts to click that, but Takomi's just going to fight through it. And with these weaker guns, I mean, it's hard to do anything in this situation. Levy even gets a kill in the back too. So the 2 remaining members of Marion, they need to be extraordinarily wary in this situation. A gun retrieved from Mintmeister. But unfortunately, no kill found from that. Good distraction though to set up relay. But still worried about Levy with this backstab. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Swing from 2 angles. Now almost no way getting out of that with the Sheriff. And Mintmeister has gone for that save up onto the operator. Gonna purchase it. Is on the defensive side and is gonna hold it over towards B, but it feels like, at least at the moment, CSU Vikings, they don't have any interest with, I guess, going through B main. All their pushes have been exclusively mid and A, tending more so to dodge the oppressive Cypher utility. It's so hard to get any form of valuable util up on mid, but it is easy for Mintmeister to kind of set up with that operator on mid. 2 angles to hold from, and a lot of presence already shown. Marion looking to get their first round on the board, setting up a crossfire around mid and absolutely stifling the positions. A TP from the shadows. Crow trying to identify the correct position. And now when the focus was given towards mid, the push finally comes through up into B. When the plant goes down. The dangerous thing about this though is there's still players from CSU Vikings White who have scattered around the map. They've moved to so many different positions. You can't even flank back into this at this point. And you still have the op you need to breach through with. But Mintmeister still managing to find one with that. Unfortunately going to be taken out by Levy. Milky Way trying to retrieve that gun. 1v1 situation. Showstopper pulled out. Invested. Gonna miss! But Levy aligns the shot. Hits the head. And I think they're almost as surprised as me that one ended up working out in their favor. I thought after that Showstopper whiffed, it was game over. GG's. Completely and utterly done for Revi, but manages to align the shot afterwards anyways. Not going to opt to collect the operator. Didn't really have a choice to do that in the first place, but still good denying it from the hands of Marion. You know how good Mintmeister gets when they're on fire with that weapon. And speaking of that weapon, Tour de Force, which is the better operator, has been played for. Next relay, gonna go for the blind Showstopper right past Levy's head. And I'm sure that really nobody expected Levy to be playing up on this angle. Levy's actually gonna be able to find 2, and the hat's gonna come in after that too. So now it's just both Sentinels down on either side. Positions completely revealed. No idea where their enemies are coming from. No idea where that next shot's gonna be in. Leaving Flux, the lone survivor, still standing up on A. And to rub things in, they're farming the alt orbs too. Like, it's just slowly gonna be chipping away at the mental of the Marion players. Flux trying to hold down this A site, but everybody knows that they're here. Even marking positions they think could have got off to. But they have all the time in the world to hunt this down. Remember, bomb just went down.
Camera taken out.
The camera has been detected, potentially revealing the position that they're in.
Cage triggered.
An angle has been cleared. A one-way has been procced though. Flux managing to get one, trying to open up a bit of space, dodge and weave between the cage, and unfortunately not able to do more from this situation that he was forced in. Back against the wall, quite literally, and in front of him was a wall that was definitely very possible to spam through. So now Marion has a couple options. Mintmeister looks like they want to go for this operator this round. I do think is potentially a bit risky here, especially when there's not many guns to back it up. The judges are forced to play such close quarters.
This is a nice spot.
The operator is going to be posted up in mid for an early contact play. Likely scouted out by the flash/dog. And shot taken. Unfortunately going to be missed. He's going to TP out towards the B side of things. X relay unfortunately gets punished in that situation. And now Mintmeister again in a position where you just can't fight with an operator. Did not back out far enough, and now that op and all the money, the 4,700 creds just lay waste. And Milky Way looking at the team around, it's basically evaporated, last to fall. And Plant's gonna come into the economy that CSU White has built up. Seems almost insurmountable. Still 5 rounds left in the half, but they have put up quite the lead. Luckily, though, for the majority of Marion, there's at least a buy for them. There's a chance. And finally, a bit of a response from Marion in this area in mid. They're trying to push out, but just gets punished. The combination from Zakomi. Too strong. And X relay flushed as well. These two, Zakomi and Revi, just so good. But Flux showing he has the at least cage lineups to counteract to some extent. Get to see some new crazy ones. And Milky Way is gonna equalize. So now it's Blink and Milky. Sort of pinched on either side, but have control of Heaven, and they have control of the spike too. Because that went down, they're able to keep watch over this area, but it's smoked off. When this smoke drops, Levy's gonna look for the flank. They don't know the pinch is coming from both sides. All in the back of Milky Way. She finds one. Looking for the second. Levy's trying to use that Viper Spit. Back off. And doing a bit of damage to Milky Way as well, causing that Phantom to hit out a one-shot. Even with the regen shield, not going to be enough. Both ults on the table. Unlikely we see one used. It's likely just going to be a gunfight to clear it all out. Aim is over the place for both players. Milky Way with another fake tap. Wants to hold out with the pistol. Enough damage to do. Shorty comes in, and Levy's going to clean that one up. And a very valiant effort for Milky Way. But unfortunately, it is not enough. Now the economy is finally starting to slip back to alignment for Marion, at least. Mintmeister with a lot of money, but saving up for that operator on the next round. This will be a full pistol save for the side of Marion. And they're looking to get aggressive with it. Already destroyed a trip wire off the playing field. And a really nice shot from Milky Way. Finding her footing well in these matches, but unfortunately traded out by Nickis. And a flash comes in. Nickis with a nice dodge. And the punishment onto Blink as well. So now slowly creeping up into A Heaven. Has the opportunity to go to a lot of places, but X Relay wants to meet this. But Nick is actually going to find 3 here. With potentially an ace on the cards, but unfortunately Revy's going to seal that one away. May only have the opportunity to see 1 ace today. And the lone defender, lone hold on A site as the spike goes down. Reminiscing on all the memes, all the jokes from competitive when
Wire destroyed.
you talk about your one Sentinel player just forced to play retake 1v5. That's exactly what Flux was forced to do.
My ultimate is ready.
And unfortunately, unable to find any space to get a retake or even a single kill. Luckily though, for Marion, they have an opportunity to buy into this, and they are going to call a timeout. I think very appropriate time to do so. This is their round where if they want to start winning this, they have to step up here. They need to answer the call. They do have that operator, and they do have a full buy on their hands, but with the way that CSU Vikings White has been playing this map, they're playing it so slow and methodical, but they are just slowly taking away the position that they have. We need to see a coordinated step out, a step up from the team of Marianne. We need to see them try and make a concerted effort to push a certain part of the map. Even though they're on defense, they need to set up their defensive line a little bit deeper, because every time that the CSU Vikings are able to walk into mid, it feels like the game's already over. They can punish from any different angle. And they'll keep doing that. They'll keep trying to find that positioning more and more as the map goes on, with multiple ults to do it with as well. This Viper's Pit, if CSU Vikings are able to get down a plant, even at a numbers disadvantage, can just turn the tide directly in their favor. But it's going to be a showstopper to start off the fight. And Mintmeister actually going to take a bit of a push out and TP out, pushing out towards mid. And on the other side of things, you have 2 players who are taking a flank. It might be a bit too late of a flank. Seeker's now invested on the attacker side, as well as the Viper's Pit. CSU Vikings investing everything into this round, even though they're at a numbers disadvantage right now. And there's a flank to deal with this. Nickis doing a good job shutting down Milky Way, forcing a 4v4 situation. And now numbers slowly shifting in favor of CSU Vikings. The Viper's Pit, the Seekers, the ability to weaken everybody, blind them out, and quite literally seek out every single kill they needed. Enough to shut down Marion. But they did force out 3 very big ultimates that will likely, unless we see some craziness out of Revy, Levy, or Zakomi, which definitely is possible knowing them, likely not come back up into this match at any point in time. It's a shotgun buy for Marianne. They're trying to invest into this round. They have really no ultimates to play with. What they do have is holds on some of these tight corners. Blink, one of the only players with this Vandal, playing in a precarious position. If this does get dropped down, it's going to be dropped into a very dangerous spot. They see on the opposite side of the map. Another push out happens at the exact same time. There's no Sentinel utility to deal with it up close. But the issue is that Neural Theft is going to catch the position of every single other player and allow Crow to get that punishment. Mint blinded up. X Relay trying to follow. But they know the exact location they're coming from, and Crow's gonna get both. 11-0. They're feeling excited. You can even see the laughter between the team there. They are putting in work on this map. And the final round, fields to be bought. Whatever guns that Marion can really scrape by with. Trying to at least take one round away from CSU Vikings if they've shown up very dominant on this attacker side. And again, looking for this push out here. Met by nobody. Mintmeister really wants to get this tour de force online. That's exactly what they will do. The issue is the push has already gone through onto the A side. And there's no sentinel utility to sort of deter the push here. But the trades are going to come through. Flux still holding a line up in heaven. But unfortunately, that trip is going to enable Levy to walk up through mid. Mintmeister forced to deal with that. A 2v2 on to a 1v1.
The spike is here.
And the spike in a dangerous spot. Levy's trying to set up, maybe a bit too presumptuously, but actually not at all. Because now, as Mintmeister moves back onto this site, with only the tour de force and a pistol in hand, he needs to be precarious about the flank. He knows it's possible, and all Levy needs to do is stay alive. As long as Levy is alive, there's always a shroud of doubt in his head. Will he be getting flanked right now? Keeps looking back. Doesn't know that flank is nowhere to be found. Doesn't know if the respect is being shown. Finds one here. Looking for a second, but not able to find it. And a dominant attacker's half from CSU White. We'll see if Marianne can show some of that pistol's magic, or if this might spell game over and disaster for their team.
This goes here. Oh, this is a nice spot. Yes, this will do.
Marianne looking for potentially a quick hit towards this A site. 5 players all grouped up, ready to go. They do have Mintmeister, who has that sort of defensive util.
Cage triggered.
If they're able to get down on site, this could be a turning point for their team, one that they so desperately need at this point. But the rotations already came in. On the side of CSU, so confident in these fights. Getting heals off as they fight. Mintmeister has not been cleared up until this point. Needs to be the hero in this situation. And unfortunately, Revy that backwards walk. A bit of Michael Jackson right there. As he is taking this map by force, by storm. Paint shells come in onto the back line. Blink surrounded, obliterated. And that's going to be all she wrote. CSU taking their second win of the day.
Cheers, mate.
And setting themselves up in a position to likely be the 4th or 5th seed tomorrow in the bracket stage of this tournament. And as this map concludes, gotta say, excellent performance, not just by Cleveland State, University White, and the Marion team, but excellent performance by everybody here today. And even though this was the pool stage, this does set the seedings. This is not losing your out. No team is out just yet. Anything can change tomorrow. It's amazing what a good night's rest can do for your mental, for your attitude towards the game, for your overall team chemistry, for your skills. So I don't want to count eggs before they've hatched. I don't want to hedge my bets before I know all the information. So I could still see this tournament being anybody's game at this point in time. Especially with the way some of these teams have been playing. There have been upsets throughout the day. CSU Vikings White was able to take down Akron Gold. And despite that, they're still, situated near the bottom. But they're still able to upset one of the better teams in this tournament. So it's really hard to correctly attribute the seeding of every single team, we're going to have to wait till the results of CSU players versus Akron Gold to see who likely is able to take that 2 seed. And then OSU Scarlet versus CSU Vikings Green, two teams that you could make an argument that both teams are some of the best in the game right now, but the easier argument would be towards OSU Scarlet, who has won out throughout today. But I think it's very map dependent for all of this stuff, and we'll have to see who it goes to. But I believe we have Levy on standby for an interview. Levy, how's it going?
It's doing good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. So, talk to me a little bit about this map that you guys just played. Obviously, you win in dominant fashion, setting yourself up in a decent spot for tomorrow, the bracket stage of things. How has the event been for you so far?
We've been having a lot of fun. Split was the map that we've worked on the most so far. Our team is 2 weeks old at this point, so we've had very little practical plays and whatnot. We've been kind of just doing whatever on most maps, almost playing it like ranked, but Split was the main map that we've been cooking a lot on. And especially on our attack side, I'm very pleased with how it's been going. Undefeated is good confirmation that what we've been doing is going to work for more maps. So we were coming into this like wanting to play Split and see really how it's. I don't want to spoil the other map, but we have 2 maps that we've been working on, and it's good to know that what we're doing, like our practices are paying off, because those are definitely the maps that we're feeling most confident.
Well, I will tell you 2 things. One, I hope that no other teams watch this VOD, specifically, and they don't ban Split. 2, you will have a chance to play in at least one of the 2 maps you're favored in. I'm not gonna speculate which one you are favored, like what the other map is, because tomorrow's format you will be playing best of 3s, so you'll be able to ban, and then you'll be able to pick. So even if Split or the mystery map does get banned, you're always able to have that confident map pick. I do want to ask you though. You had that sort of school versus your school internal showdown between CSU Vikings Green versus CSU Vikings White. How did that go for you guys? Just in terms of the comms, the energy, you playing against a team that you probably know pretty well. You're probably friends with the players on the other team, I'd assume.
No, yeah, we're very close. Like all 10 of us. I think that was the game we were looking most forward to. It's cool playing other teams, but I guess just like it's more the LAN energy. It was very fun to butt heads a little more. Like we were kind of yelling at each other like in the space, which we try to keep it classy when it comes to the other teams. We try to be respectful when it comes between. We try to get in each other's heads, try to make each other click and also get better under pressure. And even though we did play Split against them and we did lose, we started on defense, which I think our attack side's better. I know I have some things I want to improve on, but yeah, I don't know. It was a good game. They are the top team, like we are second team, so we're trying our best. But we have beat them before in the past, like previous semesters, and we were pretty confident going in. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun having a second team and having a whole group of 10 people. Or we're taking a 2-hour bus drive. Just having a good time together. It's been a great experience so far.
That's great to hear. And I'm not trying to start more beef between the teams, but all you gotta say is like, hey, CSU Green, did you guys win against Akron Gold? I don't think so. Last time I checked, I think they lost against Akron Gold, and you guys won against Akron Gold. So like,
yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know what's been going on. Like we were kind of doing our predictions before this event even happened, and been a lot of upsets that have been taking place. It's been interesting to watch, for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of like, I guess predictions and treating this as a learning experience, which you also talked about as well. How has your team sort of evolved to understand the other teams and understand, I guess, yourself throughout this tournament? Obviously, only day 1, but
are you saying like how we're like adapting to how
you guys are
adapting
to how the other teams are playing and how you guys are adapting as like yourself? You know, like how are you guys figuring out what strategies you want to roll with? You know.
Okay, so in general, like the 2 maps we worked on, we were trying to go with what we've actually have done in our scrims previously. But in terms of like how we played differently against other teams, we did a little snooping like before the event, like trying to see what type of players each player or each team had, and some of their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to like an overall, like, are they more aggressive team? Do they got aimers? You got some great IGLs. Like, it just we kind of changed our play slightly based off of those. But once again, we're pretty new, so a lot of our maps are like we played at Haven earlier, and it wasn't the greatest thing currently, but I'm excited. It's fun. It's fun playing a bunch of different teams because every team has been different so far of how they play, and it's been fun adapting. Like, I'm the IGL, so I find that quite fun to think of like the correct solution to what's been going on in the game.
Yeah. And talk to me a little bit about yourself. You said this team was created like 2 weeks ago. Can I get like a bit of lore? Like, are you just the IGL mastermind, just like pull 5 people together, say, hey, let's play a Valorant tournament? Or what's the creation of CSU Vikings White?
So yeah, we had 15 players actually during the fall semester, but a few of them had to leave because it was too much for the schedules and whatnot. So we condensed it into 2 teams. So one of our players on White last semester went to a different school, and another one moved up to Green because they were also missing a spot. So we had to pick 2 people from our third team. And we had a little tryout going on there, and that happened over winter break. So, and then we took like a week off for Christmas break, or Christmas and New Year's. So basically after New Year's is when we started playing. Play like around like 3-4 times a week. In general, we were looking for just players that we felt could improve the most, because a lot of them, they're very new. They haven't really played on a team from a higher caliber. Like, so. That's been a working process. Like, there's sometimes we're teaching along the way almost. But
yeah. Well, I mean, it's great that you guys are learning here. Sorry, did you have more to say?
No, I mean, like, I've been like making like a huge Google Slides and putting all the strats on there too. Like, it's and we keep adding to it, and it's fun. But yeah.
That's great. And Levy, before I let you go, are there any big shout outs you want to make, or I guess any final words you have for the stream? Because after this, we're done. So you're going to be the second to last face that I see here.
Okay, I mean, I think I just have one. It's our director, PJ Farrell. Like, he's done a great job at organizing all this. Like, despite having to bring out 10 very young adult dudes doing whatever. Like, we have someone from Texas and getting us all together during the break. Yeah, bringing us out, driving us. That was a crazy drive. I feel bad for him, but he's been doing a lot for us, and I appreciate him getting us out here to Columbus.
Yeah, and I know that Leanne also shouted out PJ. Leanne, I keep mixing up his name, but all I know, PJ the GOAT.
No, he is a GOAT.
Yeah, like the best CSU person ever.
He's a hardworking individual, and I appreciate him.
Yeah, big shout out to esports directors in general. I know from like a collegiate level, it's very hard to get programs running, but I'm glad your program is striving. Anything else you want to say before we send you out, Levy?
No, I think that's all. Go Vikes. We're looking to do good in the finals or the tomorrow.
Alrighty. Well, best of luck tomorrow, and we're gonna say our goodbyes to you. Have a nice night. If you're heading home, have a safe trip home. If you're staying in the area, have a nice rest because you'll need it for tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, that was Levy for the team of CSU Vikings White, and that was also our broadcast for today. Now, if you are just joining us right now, watch the VOD. It was an amazing day today. Lots of great action between all of these teams. And secondly, make sure to tune in tomorrow because we have more Valorant action on Game Arena. Valorant Act 3 will have the start of the bracket. It'll all be best of 3s, so we're not just going to see these teams face off one team, and then split. No, they're staying around for at least 2, maybe 3 matches afterwards. And between these teams, I could. It's your guess is as good as mine to tell you who actually wins it in the end. Especially when we just had the Akron Gold team have a technical upset over these sussy players very, very recently, which might have bumped them up to the second seed. We're gonna have a lot of teams tied in this middle echelon of players, and between them, I have no idea who's going to win. We're going to actually hop over to those pool standings right now. And every game is done but the OSU Scarlet game versus CSU Vikings Green. And it looks like the sussy players are actually in the lead off of a slightly better map differential, I believe. So I think the sussy players, I may have misspoke, are going to be the ones to take that second seed. Either way, we'll get it figured out sometime tomorrow. One of the teams will have first seed, one of the teams will have second seed, and we'll see how it goes. But unless there's anything else, I think that's going to be the broadcast for today. So if you're in the chat, first of all, thanks for joining us for this entire time. It was amazing casting with you. And secondly, we hope to see you tomorrow. We hope to see you for more Game Arena Valorant Act 3 when the action really starts heating up. These teams start going head to head. We got 6 teams. None of them have been eliminated yet, but I promise you, by maybe this time or a few hours after this, 4 to 5 of them will be eliminated, and we will be crowning our Act 3 champion. And that's what I'm most excited about. But it's going to be the end of the day. I am War. I got to give a big shout out to Guffy Fish and get in behind the scenes for putting in all the work on production. They're amazing. Go follow them, share them some love. But for now, see you later, everybody. Have a safe night. Bye bye.